what's up, folks? It's the Methodical AAA, and of course, it's been a while. I mean, you kind of expect it now, I assume. Like you probably guessed, it's a break from school, so yeah, I'm making a video. What have I been up to? I have an internship. I always say it like this, I have to say it like super professional in case anybody asks. I edit news coverage for a local television network. And no, I don't get paid a lick. While I'm not doing that, I'm just here at home chilling. Recently, I've just started watching some animated films. And like any film that I watch, naturally I have a response to it. So I guess this is what it is. I guess I'm just gonna talk about this film, or these two films, since, there's two films in the saga right now. I guess, yeah, I'll just talk about the How to Train Your Dragon film series right now. Okay, I mean, I really have no real way of segueing into it, so let's go. Now, for the first film, I know like everybody loves it. Me, I don't love it. I like it. I acknowledge that it's a good film, but I don't necessarily love it. Probably because I saw exactly where the film was going to go. Like for this film is like the first Iron Man film to me. Everybody was so surprised that the first Iron Man film was good, and as a result, it became so overhyped that when I saw it, I was, to be honest, underwhelmed. I'm not saying that the first Iron Man film is a bad film. The first Iron Man film, at least in my opinion, is one of the best examples of a perfectly good film. There's nothing necessarily bad about it. Okay, wait. There's one thing. For all the pains that they took to show Tony Stark creating the suit, this just comes out of nowhere. Am I the only one that finds that jarring? But I was talking about How to Train Your Dragon, right? Okay, that's why I bring Iron Man up, because how I feel about Iron Man, it's a perfectly good film. That's kind of how I feel about How to Train Your Dragon. It's a perfectly good film. It's not great by any means, but it's just a perfectly good film. Despite the fact that for both these films, I was able to see exactly, you don't understand, exactly where the stories were gonna go. Iron Man, an asshole, has a near-death experience and becomes a good guy as a result. Even though 8 years later, he completely shits the bed. And How to Train Your Dragon, it's kind of like the story of a boy and his dog, except it's a boy and his dragon.
Whole Toothless.
More or less how I feel about How to Train Your Dragon. Now, for How to Train Your Dragon 2, oh boy, I got some shit to say. Now, first, let me say this. I really like this film. How to Train Your Dragon 2, I will say it is much better than the first How to Train Your Dragon film. But there is one character. Ooh, I'm getting heated just talking about this person. There is one character in this film who is introduced that completely and totally pisses me off. Valka. Alright, so let me get this straight. When Hiccup was a baby, Valka got kidnapped by dragons, and almost 20 years later, Hiccup finds her, and she is like one with the dragons and shit, right? Throughout any point in those 20 years, did she ever think of going back to her husband and son? I'm just asking.
Where was I? I'm so sorry, Hiccup. Can we start over? Will you give me another chance?
Throughout any point in those 20 years, she could have brought the dragons back to the Viking village of Berk. Yeah, sure, the Vikings would go all crazy, but once they see that Valka is the one in charge, they would calm down and hear what she has to say. Do you know how much shit you could have avoided just by coming back, Valka? This is bullshit. But you know what really gets me? It's not even really something that has to do with the film. It's when Stoic dies and Hiccup becomes the leader of Berk.
The chief has come home!
I heard so many people say, oh, that's misogynistic. As soon as Valka gets introduced in the film, she has to give up the leadership position to Hiccup. No, Valka should have been the leader of Berk. That is misogynistic, you assholes. No, she should not have been the leader of Burke. You want a really misogynistic example? I'll give you that in a quick second. But first, no, Valka should not have been the leader of Burke. You want to know why? She hasn't been there for 20 years. She don't know what the hell's happening. Hiccup has been there his entire life. Hiccup was the one to convince Burke of the innocence of dragons, which is something that Valka could have done, like I said, if she had been there. But let's just think about the possibility of Valka becoming the leader of Burke. Let's say that Burke goes to war with some other villain. If push comes to shove, who's to say that Valka won't dip as soon as things go bad? I mean, you can't say that you won't expect it, because she's been gone from her husband and her son for 20 years. For dragons. Because, you know, I guess that's to say dragons are better than people? Dragons are
better than people. Sven, don't you think that's true?
I know that I left you to raise Hiccup alone, but I thought he'd be better off without me. And I was wrong. I see that now.
So no, it's not misogynistic that Valka was not made leader of Burke. It's practical. But a really misogynistic example is in The Lion King. I love The Lion King. I will never say for a second that I hate The Lion King. I love that film. I literally grew up with it. But Simba should not have been the leader at the end. It's the same situation with Valka. Dude's been away for so long, and then all of a sudden at the end, he just takes the throne. No. You know who should have been the real leader? Nala. Like Hiccup, Nala had been there her whole life. She knew exactly what she needed to do to stop Scar.
Good. At least one of us does.
Now that I think about it, I think Nala's a master manipulator. Let me just explain. Okay, so as soon as she sees Simba, right, she acts all happy and shit. And then like not even 5 minutes later, she starts cuddling up to him. She's doing the honey trap. She's about to have, she flirts with him all the time, and then boom. I wanna fuck you. She seduces him, which honestly, I guess is beneficial for both of them. I mean, Simba hasn't had sex, as far as we know. And Nala, well, her only choices are the hyenas.
No, anything but that.
And Scar.
Precisely.
Which, in a deleted scene, she hilariously rejected.
A king alone is a sad situation indeed, but a king without heirs. Now that's a tragedy.
You can't be serious.
I've never been more serious.
Chief and his consort, the sine qua non sort of ruling ascendants, our line of descendants will flow through the pride and beyond.
You know, you really have no choice. One way or another, I always get what I want.
Oh my god. So yeah, both Simba and Nala get their groove on, but Nala still has her eye on the ball. As soon as that's finished, she's like, nah, see, Simba, you need to come back to Pride Land with me and we need to get shit done. But as Simba, at this point in time, he's a lazy jackass. He's all like, no, I like the life here, and blah, 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 blah. And then he runs away. And Nala's pissed, and then she's wandering all around the Hakuna Matata tropical resort. I actually don't know what it's called. Then all of a sudden, Rafiki shows up and says Simba's going back. So, I mean, we all know the reason why Simba went back, because he was obviously hallucinating. But hey, as far as Nala's concerned, the whole reason why Simba went back and took his place as king is all because of her. I mean, you see in The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, where she's all, you know, she's so much more chill in this film than compared to the other film, for obvious reasons. I mean, she's all like, you see, everybody's chilling, everybody's good. You know who caused that shit? Me! But I was talking about How to Train Your Dragon, right? Yeah, pretty much like how Hiccup became the leader, I felt Nala should have been the leader in The Lion King, but considering, you know, you need kings, that shit ain't gonna fly. But yeah, I guess this was just my random as hell, not quite synopsis of the How to Train Your Dragon films. I don't know, I guess I kind of wanted to just talk, and I guess because I watched How to Train Your Dragon recently, I guess this was the best thing to do. So thanks for listening to me ramble. Hopefully in the near future I'm going to do a video on my dissatisfaction with the X-Men films. No, this is not necessarily going to be a rant on X-Men Apocalypse, because many people, they don't like the film. Me, I liked it generally. Overall, the X-Men films have become kind of a chore for me. Hopefully I'll explain why if I ever get around to making that video. So yeah, pretty much all I had to say. I'm the Methodical AAA, and hopefully I don't ramble as much in the future. Peace.